Recordings are there. Please try to watch the recordings as and when you miss the session. Yes, Ankita. Ankita?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Actually, I faced the same issue, so it has been answered, so it's okay. Actually, I immediately tried to join, but then since I faced the same issue.
I think yes. Did you leave in between after joining?
No, ma'am, then it was not, I was not able to connect. That time I had to leave.
Oh, okay. Okay. In that case, if there are any other issues, if there are technical issues, that's not a problem. You can just watch the recording, wait for the session to end and watch the recording.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Sarah? You're not able to unmute? Yeah, please go ahead. Say, I need to start the session quickly. So if you, it's good, no? If you can write it in the chat section. I can read it and then I can answer your questions as well. Yeah, Sakshi, that's fine, no problem. So if you have missed the session, this is the issue. If I start answering all the questions, then you will keep raising hands. Ultimately, it's not going to help you out. What is going to help you out is if you have missed the session, please listen to me very carefully. If you have missed the session because of any reason, X, Y, Z, any reason. I don't know what the reason is. Because, anyways, I'm not from the technical team. I really won't be able to help you right now. Right now, immediately, I can't help you. So, if you're looking for answers from my side, I am from the teaching department, training department. I won't be able to help you technically. Second thing, if you miss the session, you have the option to go back, check the recording, watch the training session once again. You have that option. So that again, there is no point in raising your hands. And if there is any other issue apart from joining the second session, please write it down here in the chat section. If I will be able to help, I'll make sure that I address that issue. Otherwise, what you can do is all these technical issues, you can write it in the chat section. I can take a screenshot and I can convey. That's the maximum I can do. This is day 2, and I'm setting this norm for the rest of the days also. Any technical related issues, I will not be able to help you. Really, very sorry. Okay. So what you can do, maximum I can do for you is you can write the technical issues and I can take a screenshot and I'll let the team know about it. Okay. And try to mention your email IDs also in your issue. Assignments, there are no deadline. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. Today we have on our agenda, we have a senior demo observation. But before observing any particular class, any particular segment, any particular demo session, we need to understand the purpose of a demo. A demonstration class is for demonstrating your teaching prowess, as well as there is some content, yes, of course, but that content is not, uh, you are not imparting education in 1 hour. You are trying to tell the parents that this is what we do and this is how we do, right? Also, for your interest, you are trying to assess the child on the basis of different pillars of public speaking. Okay, you are trying to evaluate the child, whether he is good in body language, whether he is good in voice modulation or confidence or thought structure or whatever it is, right? So understand this demo session is not to teach, it is to demonstrate your teaching prowess, what we do, how we do, and also to understand the child's level of competency, you can say. Okay. So we'll start off with the first thing. Now, since the purpose of this demo session is not teaching, solely teaching, that's not the only purpose. Apart from that, the purpose is to have a basic rapport with the parents and the child to make that comfortability persist, right, in the relationship. So basically, the most important thing is building relationships. While I am explaining, you all are writing in the chat section. How will I know that when I'm explaining certain things to you, you will be able to understand? You are busy writing. Please wait. Okay. Let me finish one particular segment and then you can write down. I'll tell you when to write the chats. Okay. So we'll start off with the video. Let's observe the video very carefully, and let's try to understand what is this building relationship and what significance it has, especially on us teachers. Let's have a look. Audible to everyone?
I have spent my entire life either at the schoolhouse, on the way to the schoolhouse, or talking about what happens in the schoolhouse. Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good, some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection. Relationships. James Comer says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. George Washington Carver says all learning is understanding relationships. Everyone in this room has been affected by a teacher or an adult. For years, I have watched people teach. I have looked at the best and I've looked at some of the worst. A colleague said to me one time, they don't pay me to like the kids. They pay me to teach a lesson. The kids should learn it. I should teach it. They should learn it. Case closed. Well, I said to her, you know, kids don't learn from people they don't like. She said, that's just a bunch of hooey. And I said to her, well, your year is going to be long and arduous, dear. Needless to say, it was. Some people think that you can either have it in you to build a relationship or you don't. I think Stephen Covey had the right idea. He said you ought to just throw in a few simple things, like seeking first to understand as opposed to being understood. Simple things like apologizing. You ever thought about that? Tell a kid you're sorry, they're in shock. I taught a lesson once on ratios. I'm not real good with math, but I was working on it. And I got back and looked at that teacher edition. I taught the whole lesson wrong. So I came back to class the next day and I said, look, guys, I need to apologize. I taught the whole lesson wrong. I'm so sorry. They said, that's okay, Miss Pearson. You were so excited. We just let you go. I have had classes that were so low, so academically deficient that I cried. I wondered, how am I going to take this group in 9 months from where they are to where they need to be? And it was difficult. It was awfully hard. How do I raise the self-esteem of a child and his academic achievement at the same time? One year I came up with a bright idea. I told all my students, you were chosen to be in my class. Because I am the best teacher and you are the best students, they put us all together so we could show everybody else how to do it. One of the students said, really? I said, really? We have to show the other classes how to do it. So when we walk down the hall, people will notice us. So you can't make noise, you just have to strut. And I gave him a saying to say, I am somebody. I was somebody when I came. I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I am powerful and I am strong. I deserve the education that I get here. I have things to do, people to impress, and places to go. And they said, yeah. You say it long enough, it starts to be a part of you. And so I gave a quiz, 20 questions. Student missed 18. I put a +2 on this paper and a big smiley face. He said, Miss Pearson, is this an F? I said, yes. He said, then why'd you put a smiley face? I said, because you on the roll. You got 2 right, you didn't miss them all. I said, and when we review this, won't you do better? He said, yes, ma'am, I can do better. You see, -18 sucks all the life out of you. +2 said, I ain't all bad.
Yeah. So what did we understand from this video? What stood out? Building relationships, isn't it? Absolutely, yes. So relationship building between the student, okay, I'm not talking about the parents. Parents, of course, there is a certain level of rapport that we need to build because we are going to stay with them for a very, very long time. 165 session is a long time to be with somebody together. Now, here we are talking about children. Now, an effective learning will not happen if the child is not comfortable with the teacher and if a teacher is authoritative. Because I will be very honest with you. The generation above us, even some teachers in our generations as well, they have yet not understood the pedagogy, the mentality of a child, and that authoritativeness that ruins the relationship. So that authority and that bossy kind of attitude is not going to help. That is going to make your learning even more difficult. So you need to have a comfortability with the child in the class. Until and unless that doesn't happen, the learning will not happen. That effective imparting of education, that will not happen. So it's important from this video, we understand the child does not learn from the person that he doesn't like. So in order to make that child confident and also a good communicator, it's important that he trusts you and he is comfortable with you. He confides in you. And that is only going to happen when we leave our teacher inside, that conventional teacher aside, and we treat each child as an equal partner in the class. And that is what we are going to learn today. So let's start, and we are going to identify and analyze the different teachers' actions that helps her to build relationships. Okay, so let's begin our classes. Please take notes whenever required. Be open to learning, participate actively, be on the time always. This is our today's agenda, 60 minutes of senior demo observation in the beginning, and then we will be watching the use of body language and voice modulation, how to use that. Now, here the senior demo observation that we are doing and the debriefs that we are going to do is the only 40-45 minutes of the demo. I told you the demo session is of 1 hour, right? So in that 1 hour, the first 40-45 minutes we spend with the kid, and the last 15-20 minutes we spend with the parents. So we are only going to watch the first 40-45 minutes. The last 15-20 minutes, that is parent-teacher interaction, that will happen on day 4. Correct? Let's talk about these 40-45 minutes. Now, this demo has been divided into some segments, some sections. 5 sections are there. Now, here what you have to do is you have to identify, you have to look at the teacher, identify what exactly she is doing. What are her actions that helps her to build relationship with the student? Like she uses her body language. Hi, how are you? Okay, she gives a thumbs up. Wonderful, that was amazing. I can't hear you. Okay, so these are the gestures that she is using. Like, so this is a part of body language. And what kind of voice? Like, oh, wow, you have got a new t-shirt. Amazing. Okay, so you use a higher pitch, higher tone to show your excitement, surprise, or when you are, no, that's not correct. So you go down. So whatever you say, you change your pitch and tonality. Try to use an add some enthusiasm in your voice, some energy in your voice. So that is about voice modulation. Other things, like for example, you add some personal experiences. You know what, when I was a child, I also used to do this. This is something that is going to help you build a relationship. Another thing is when you appreciate the child. So when the child has given a speech, well done, very good. I really loved how you told the story. The story was very interesting. However, these are the things that I feel should be changed. So whatever. When you give your feedback, you start off with a validation word, isn't it? An acknowledging word. Amazing. That was well done. So these words are also going to help you build relationship. So I am not going to create opinions. Oh, the teacher is not does not seem to be very energetic. Oh, she's laughing too much. Oh, she's moving her head too much. Okay, so we are not going to find out those things which are not going to help you. We are going to find out those things. We are going to identify only the teacher's actions and not create opinions on her teaching methods. Okay. Is that clear? Because that is what is going to help us, isn't it? So we are only going to identify the teacher's actions, enabling teacher's actions that helps her to build relationship with the parents, with the student. Okay. So let's get started. This is actually our objective. I was trying to explain the objective for the day today. So this is our first objective. We are going to identify and analyze the different teachers' actions across the different pillars. I told you about body language. I told you about voice modulation and the other things that she does or says in order to build relationship. So I think I have explained 2, 3 slides to you. I am just going to move ahead swiftly. So which hats do you think we will be wearing today? Yesterday, I told you about 3 hats, remember? Any idea? What are those 2 hats that we are going to use today? Sorry for the interruption. Uh, yes. So these were the 3 hats, mentor, facilitator, and influencer. But the influencing part will not happen today. Okay. Only the mentor and the facilitator hats we will be wearing. That means we are going to play the role of a mentor and a facilitator. Influencer, as of now, no. Okay. Influencing part will come on day 4 when we are going to interact with the parents and we are going to tell them what exactly we have in the curriculum and how we are going to do it. So that part is the influencing part. As of now, we are only going to be the mentors and facilitators. Now let's understand how many types of demos do we have. We have 3 types of demos: junior, senior, and grown up. This I think you all have already seen in your demo class content page. That is the teacher's handbook, right? So in the junior section, we have KG to 3. It's not 1 to 3, it's KG to 3. Okay. And senior grade is 4 to maybe 10th. Okay, 11th or 12th can also be categorized under senior. It can also be categorized under grown-up presentation skills also. But usually we keep it in the senior part only. Now, grown-up section would be basic English. There are 2 types of grown-up demos. One is basic English, those who need help with their English speaking and the basic English part. And there is another grown-up demo, which is for the presentation skills, where the people, they want themselves to be like an effective communicator, especially in the presentation parts, like corporates and where people are working, basically. So working professionals usually join. Okay. So yeah, these are the 3 types of demos that we have. One is the junior one, another one is senior, and the last one is grown up. Today we are going to watch only the senior one, that is grade 4 to grade 12. You can take grade 12 also. So these instructions I have already given you. Again, I'm repeating it for you. As you are watching the video, please write down the enabling teachers actions. You can think of the following buckets. So for example, body language, like she is giving a big smile to the child, she's waving, or she's giving a high five. And the different types of voice that she's using, she is emphasizing on different points. She's using a high pitch when she's excited. Okay. And the other things that she's doing or saying in order to build relationship with the student, like for example, appreciating the child. Well done. That was good. Good. So when you appreciate the child, that are the other things. Or for example, you add some personal experiences also. You know what? When I was a kid, even I loved singing or whatever it is. So other things that you do or say in order to connect with the child, that is what we are going to identify. Identify the actions. When I'm talking about actions and not opinions, tell me, she is so nice. Is this an action? Does this sentence talk about any action? No, it doesn't talk about any action. It's not an action. It's basically an opinion about somebody. Oh, she is so nice. Okay. She is very happy. She is very happy. You think so, isn't it? That's an opinion. She asked how I was feeling. What is it? Is this an action? Does this talk about an action? Yes, it talks about action. And what action does it talk about? She asked. Okay, it is using an action word. Correct? He was unhappy. What about this? No. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for writing. So he was unhappy. Again, this is an opinion. This is not an action that you're talking about. But if I say he was holding his head and crying, right? So this talks about action. Yes, absolutely. Correct. Perfect. Right. So holding his head and crying, again, it uses some action verbs. Now you understand, you are going to identify the actions and not create opinions about the teacher. Let's start with the demo session. There are 5 different sections of a senior demo segment. The 5 different segments are: first is context setting. Context setting is basically where you set the context of the class, share the norms of the class, welcome them to the class, you talk to them, have, the introduction part, icebreaker and all those things. Number 2 is introduction to PA skills. Introduction to PA skills is a kind of a game where you will be introducing body language, voice modulation, confidence, all these things. And number 3 is a speech delivery. We'll explore once we go to that portion. Number 4 is writing speech, and number 5 is final showcase. Okay, so let's start out with the first part, that is context setting.
Will we begin?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Okay, amazing. Just allow me a second to share my screen. And here we go. Yes. Okay. So yes, so I think we are all set. We have joined from laptop. I can see all of you there in one frame. And let's just, ensure that we are there to interact, right? So don't worry, keep yourself off mute. We can talk whenever you have any question. Just feel free to say. Just all of us are only here, so feel free, okay? And yes, so let's get started. So a question for you, Tia, to start with. What do you see on the screen? Can you read this out loud?
Become a confident public speaker.
Wow, and I like how confidently you read it out. Very good. So what do you mean by a confident public speaker, Tia?
Why we mean by a confident public speaker, like we can speak confidently in front of public, in front of everyone.
Yeah, that's correct. Like without any hesitation, and just like when we are there out in front of a public, large audience, then also we can speak. Absolutely. Do you want to become a confident public speaker?
Yes, I want to become a confident.
Yes, amazing. All right. So that's why we are here today. And I'm pretty sure that towards the end of the class, you would have created something of your own. We'll come to what that is and also present it in front of everyone. Okay? Yeah. All right. So I know, ma'am, we spoke on phone, right, earlier. So I know you know me. Let me quickly introduce myself for everyone. So my name is Ishita and I'm your learning buddy, Tia, for today. I will help you learn. We are going to have a lot of fun here today. That's why buddy. And for your parents, I will be helping both of you to identify Tia's strength today. Okay, like what is it that she already has, and how can we just leverage those skills so that she becomes that confident public speaker? Yeah. And yes, I welcome all of you to this session and looking forward to have a lot of fun learning time. Two things that I'm going to, request all of us here to operate with. Tia, can you read out the first one, please?
Okay. Speak up. Ask chair.
Yes. So what do you think speak up means?
It means that we should speak and interact with you.
Yes, definitely interact with me. And how we will do that is whenever, we have an idea, we will share it with everyone. And whenever you have a question, you want to ask a doubt, feel free to ask it. Or even if not a doubt, you are curious to learn something, then also ask a question. Okay? All right. Okay. And second one, let's ask your mom to read. Yes, Ms. Anuradha, can you read the second one, please?
Yeah. Second one is high energy. Use hands, face, eyes, and voice at all times.
Yes, thank you so much. I feel like energy in the room is already high, so I'm loving that. Let's, maintain that energy throughout so that we can have all the fun. And one request that whenever we are speaking, you would have seen me that I'm using my hands, I'm making some expressions, right? So whenever we are speaking, I would want all of us to try to use our hands, our face, our eyes, and voice effectively at all times. Can we do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing. Love it. Okay. Okay. Now you know something about me, right? I would want you all to also introduce yourself. So let's try with first Tia. So Tia, here are some of the sentences. You can use these sentences to, share a bit about yourself. And then we'll also hear from your parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Tia Agarwal.
Mm-hmm.
I am 11 years old.
Okay.
I am in grade 6.
Nice. Okay.
In my free time, I like to do drawing,
Oh, nice. Okay. And
and I like to do Python.
Python. Are you serious? You know Python coding?
Yeah, a little bit I'm learning it.
Oh, wow, that is so cool. I tried learning coding when I was young and I was like, oh my God, what is all these things? Sometimes the syntax would go wrong and something or the other would happen. Does that happen with you also? You're like, are you always correct with your syntax or
Sometimes it happens
sometimes it happens? Then how do you solve it?
by rechecking the code again.
Nice. I feel like you must be very patient then because it requires a lot of patience. And that is also telling me one more thing about you, that you are very careful maybe because coding also requires attention to detail. So that's interesting, Tia. Is that correct, Mr. and Mrs. Agarwal?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. See, so something that I wasn't when I was young. That's why I can identify this in Tia. Great. Thank you so much, Tia. Maybe, you can teach me Python. And I can also learn something from you in our classes. All right. Okay. And now I would request both of you, Mr. and Mrs. Agarwal, to also, introduce yourselves and just a little bit about why you are here. What would you want for Tia?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go first. My name is Manish Arya, and I work for Publicis Sapient. I am a tech professional.
Oh, amazing.
That's why my daughter has an inclination towards coding.
I can see where it is coming from.
So I'm here because I want my child to be not just confident in public speaking, but feel confident within, so that she can express herself at any given platform, be it a social platform, be it a chat with friends, and in a social circle or in a small circle, she can express herself freely. I
Amazing.
can help my child by all I know is coding and IT, so all I can help her with that. But certainly, I'm looking forward for you to take care of my child so that she can be confident in the public.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think, as you rightly mentioned, like these are the skills that are required in today's world. And I really liked how you mentioned, like, not just confidence from outside, but within, and that also means that Tia should be comfortable with who she is and get able to express in the outside world. Amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Manish. And Ms. Anuradha, would you also want to share?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Anuradha, and I am a manager working with the company, and I'm here because I want my child to become definitely a public speaker and yes, she is very good in imagination. So if you give any word to her, so she can express herself. But I want that to explore more in herself. So I can help my child by supporting her in each and everything. So obviously, being a mother, I will, or I can support her. So
That's the biggest thing the parents can do, like just supporting them in whatever they want to be, whoever they want to be. So that's the most important thing. And okay, now I see why she also likes to draw. You said she's very creative and has good imagination. Interesting. So wow, Tia, I'm learning so much about you even when I'm talking to your parents. Great. All right. So let me, also share some quick context. I know both of you were asking that, why you both have to be here. So let me now share the reason. Of course, I said that, we will be having activities where both of you would also be engaged. But at the same time, we will also, two things that we will be doing specifically for both of you is one, share Tia's unique strengths and future opportunities via Planet Spark. And B, we would also be guiding you on, how can we personalize Tia's learning path? So we believe a lot on personalization of the learning process in order to ensure that, whatever that goal that you just shared with me, that you want for Tia, how can we achieve that goal? Yeah, so this is what we will be doing throughout the session. And of course, towards the end, we will have detailed discussion. Yeah. Okay. Any questions so far?
no,
Not here.
All right. Okay. Okay. And as we begin, so this is another role that both of you would be playing. So Tia, we will be having a lot of activities and games, which I've been saying, right? Now, whenever you feel that you need some help and you are stuck in the game, so you have two lifelines. And who are these lifelines? Can you please read it out?
How to use Lifeline. Your parents are your lifeline. Shout Lifeline whenever you need help.
Yeah. So whenever you are stuck, your two lifelines are present just sitting adjacent to you. Okay. So your parents are your lifelines today in the game. So whenever you need help, you can choose that, you have two lifelines and both your mom and dad are here. So you can choose whose help do you want and, they can help you out. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So this was the context setting. Now in context setting, you must have seen here the teacher first welcomed the parent and the child to the class, and she shared the norms of the session. And then they both get to know each other. The basic introduction happens, and then she shares the class agenda and creates excitement. Now let's write down in the chat section what were the enabling teachers' actions: body language, voice modulation, and the other things. So body language, I think it was evident enough. She was smiling all throughout, using a lot of hand gestures. Apart from that, she was also giving, thumbs ups, and she also started with, "Hi, Tia, how are you?" So anyways, so these were the body language. Body language was very much evident, I believe. Voice modulation also, if you want to say, then emphasis were there on some of the words, and she was very excited when she said, "Oh, you like Python?" So she used a higher pitch to express her excitement and surprise. So that's also understood. Let's write down the other things that she said or did in order to build relationship with the student. Yes, okay, very good. Padmini. Showing interest into knowing about her and improving her. Yes, very good. Constant smiling, hand gestures, eye contact, voice modulation, questions to interact, stress syllables upon excitements. Very good. Surprising with Python, relatability to comfort, lively class. Okay, wonderful. Took Tia's name many times. Very good, Avinash. Wonderful. Taking the student's name often, that was a very, minute detail that you have observed. Very good. So, yes, taking someone's name, taking the student's name, that's a very good way to connect with them. Okay, very nice. Personal touch. Okay. What about the Python part? Relating herself. Okay, very on the common grounds. Very good. Yes, absolutely. So she tried to use her personal experience of Python also in order to connect with the child. Okay. She was open to query, made the child comfortable, shown curiosity. Good smile like closed ones. Okay, fine. Confident about the teacher by her actions. One more thing, did you see? She was also trying to make inferences. Do you understand what is inference? Inference is basically trying to make conclusion, draw conclusion on the basis of what you already know, on the basis of your prior knowledge, or maybe the information that you get. Okay, that is known as inferences. Comprehension kind of a thing. Comprehension is only understanding. Inference is comprehending and then making a conclusion. Okay, so that is known as inference. So she was making inferences about the child from the information that she got from the parent. Then I can say Tia must be very patient. That is what she said. Isn't it? She was trying to understand the child on everything what her parents tried to share. So making inferences is also a good gesture from the teacher's side. Yes, on the basis of clues. Perfect. Okay. Yes. She also asked for the parents and what are they looking for. Very good. Perfect. Now, here you must have seen that both the parents were present. The child was present. They had joined from a laptop. So now by the time you must have understood that we want both the parents to be present and we want them to join from a laptop, right? Now, why do you think we are asking parents to join from a laptop? Any idea? PS doesn't support no. PS supports mobile phone also. Perfect. We can see clearly. All the three people will be visible clearly. Very good. Coverage is okay. Presentable, interactive. Content will be visible. Very good. The student has to read from the screen, and from a mobile screen, it will be difficult for her to read. Very good. Better visibility, better experience. Perfect, perfect. Decision makers for the parents. Acha, okay. One step ahead, Avinash. Okay, very good. Yes, we want both the parents because they both are the decision makers. That's a correct point. Okay. Okay, so you understand mobile is a difficult device because mobile will always have, notifications and calls, and it will disrupt the flow of the class. Joining from a laptop will enable the teacher also to see the child clearly. Also, hand gestures will be visible. Holding a mobile phone, hand gestures will never be visible. You are also always, your hands are busy with the mobile, right? So not possible. Another thing is in a mobile screen, only one person can be visible and that too very partially. In a laptop screen, easily the parents, two parents, if my parents sit beside me, both will be visible. Isn't it? So three people can be visible on a laptop screen. So that's important. Another thing is visibility. Of course, the child has to read from the slides. Reading from a mobile phone will be very cumbersome for the child. Another thing is, connectivity issues also you can say. Now let's discuss why do we want both the parents to be present? So first, I think Avinash